Hi, this is Stuart Bray, back with the third video in this series, looking at creating skin textures on your sculpted appliance. Previously, we looked at how to block out and then refine the sculpt ready for this final stage. The first thing I'm going to do is give the whole surface a dose of talcum powder. Get this from a chemist or drugstore, just any old kind of talc will do, and brush this all over the surface. Working through thin plastic packaging wrap, use a thin pointed tool to work into the folds to create deeper creases in the wrinkles. The harder you press, the deeper the fold will be, so play around and vary the pressure. Try using thicker plastic and more pressure for more severe and deeper creases. Try folding the plastic over on itself a couple of times to get thicker plastic and even deeper creases. This will give you a huge range of marks that you can make on the surface. For pores, use the same plastic and tools to create a series of tiny dents in the surface. You may need to experiment with the pressure to get the desired look though. Now when you start out doing the pores, it almost always looks wrong. You have what I call the blank canvas syndrome, where your smooth surface is suddenly invaded by all these tiny dents, which they just look wrong. But if you persevere, you'll find that the more you do, the more they look like they're supposed to be there. There's a kind of a safety in numbers effect, so the more of them there are, the less wrong they're going to look. Next, use some thin plastic such as cling film and press a black stipple sponge into the surface. You need to be quite firm and you should get quite a pleasing and natural looking skin texture. Pressing the stiff plastic brush through the plastic packaging again will create a nice texture, which is also quite quick to do, and this is a great technique for large areas. Building up texture in several layers will create a more natural looking result, rather than trying to create a perfect result in a single pass. Now let's do the rest of the appliance using these techniques. First, a layer of heavier pores on the forehead through thicker plastic. Then reduce these using the brush through thinner plastic. And finally, use the stipple sponge and cling film to attack this layer. The result is a reasonably convincing skin texture, which actually reveals very little of the methods used in its creation. Now we've covered the large area quickly with a basic texture, you can of course work into the areas to modify them or accentuate features as you see fit. Be sure to extend the texture right over the edge so the texture doesn't suddenly stop. And there we have it. That's the basic techniques that I use all the time to create my skin textures. This is Stuart Wraith. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more of this kind of thing, be sure to subscribe to my channel.